So it is raining right now, but I'm gonna show you guys this before it actually starts pouring. You're probably wondering, so you can't get like your harmonic balancer bolt out essentially, and you don't have enough room for an impact or anything like that. I'm gonna show you guys a quick tip that I learned while working with 2JZs that somebody showed me a long time ago that's helped me a lot actually. So essentially all exactly you really need, in my honest opinion, is a serpentine belt. Now go get if you're going to use your one that you have on right now, go get another one because you're going to stretch this out for sure. I almost guarantee it. Go buy a brand new one. But again, this is only if you can't really get an impact in there. But all you need is just a used one of these, and make sure you have a backup for like a new one if you're going to use your old one. So again, I have used this on my Lexus right over there, but I'm going to show you how to do it on this Jeep that's just been sitting here. Again, it is raining, so I'm going to try to do this as quick as possible, but actually not skip any steps. But essentially, for example, my impact will not fit in there. I have no room whatsoever, can't go from underneath at all. There's no way for me to get an impact on this Jeep harmonic balancer bolt. Again, all you really need is this and probably a breaker bar. So if you guys have a breaker bar, it'd be nice. Worst case, go find a long bar that you can put like a wrench over, and then you should be able to break it regardless. But let me set this up for you guys real quick, and I'll try to show you step by step on how to do it as well. So essentially, you're gonna find, you wanna get a really good mounting spot. So I'm gonna use the AC compressor because this is the strongest part of the pulley. And essentially you're gonna wrap your belt, and again, doesn't matter what length you have. So if you have one just laying around, you're okay. You're gonna, again, stretch this belt out anyway, and you're gonna essentially wrap it around this harmonic balancer as you're pulling or turning it over and trying to break that sucker loose. So once you have it up above that AC, like so, you're gonna bring it back down and around, and you're gonna have some slack right here, but make sure it's wrapped around your harmonic balancer itself, so the belt all around. I have some slack down here, and essentially you just want to kind of try to get rid of it as much as possible. So you got to kind of finagle it a little bit and just get it to where it sits right in between where the belt from the AC or whatever pulley you're using that's strong enough. Make sure it's sitting, the slack sitting in between here and then your other remaining harmonic balancer bolt. So when you're turning this, it's tightening this part up and grabbing right in there and essentially locking this in place, because again, these just spin freely, and if you don't really have an impact, it's kind of a bitch to get out. So let me tighten this up real quick, and then I'll show you guys exactly what we're going to do here. All right, so we got it all tightened. Like I said, just tuck it up in between where you're mounting it and between the harmonic balancer. That way it kind of grabs and it's nice and tight. And then essentially all you're going to do is, I'm going to try to do this with one hand while holding the camera. It might be a little difficult, but essentially all you're doing is just tightening this up, and you guys can see already there is a little bit of slack, but it's already grabbing on that slack as it's going, and there I go. I just broke that loose. Now again, this is already loose, but it usually is a good way to, so this was a little bit loose before, but it wasn't torqued properly, it seems like. But you can see that belt, there's no like slack whatsoever on that thing. I mean, there's a little bit, but it's nice and tight around this harmonic balancer, and essentially locking it up so you can break this loose with, whether it be a wrench. Like I said, this was not torqued properly, but I'd probably best bet use a breaker bar. And essentially you can do the exact same thing by tightening it. So if you need to torque this down, all you're going to do is you got to get rid of the slack. So you got to get rid of the slack, and it's going to spin now. And see how it spins? So now we have slack in the thing. You're going to do the exact opposite of what you did to tighten it. So all you could really do is just grab this extra, see if I can get it loose because it's still nice and tight. Let me get this loose real quick for you guys. It's a little bit difficult with one hand. Let me get this loose and I'll show you exactly how to do it vice versa to actually torque down this bolt. All right, so got it back up on the AC belt. Essentially take it off the harmonic balancer and then put it, instead of it going this way to loosen it, you're going to tighten it. So you're going to put it on the opposite way of the direction, and you're going to just do the exact same thing. So where that little slack is right here, all you're going to do, of course I got transmission lines in my way, I'm going to bring it back up and around like so. And you can see, again, there's going to be slack. That's okay. Once I tighten this, you can see the slack slowly go away on this thing. So with that, you guys are about to see the slack start going away, hopefully. And again, I apologize for the shakiness. I'm trying to do this with one hand. It is not the best. Let me swap. So with that, there's the slack, and you can start to see it's tightening it up, and you can see the slack slowly but surely bring it out, and then now it's tight again. So the slack's removed, there's no more slack in there, and this belt, there's a little slack up in here, but once we torque this down, it'll torque to spec. But essentially this is a pretty simple trick that I've learned, and I'm kind of happy that I've learned this. I don't think many people know of this, but essentially you can see, like, I'm putting a lot of force onto that thing, and it's not budging, like it's locked into place. So a simple trick, a very nice and handy trick. It's really simple to loosen up the bolt and also torque down your bolt, especially if you don't really have anybody else to kind of help you or keep this thing from spinning regardless, or if you can't even get an impact in here, like the Jeep Cherokee right here. Again, I have this all disassembled. It is a wrecked Jeep, so it kind of just lays around here. I do apologize for how shaky the camera is. It's kind of hard to do it with one hand, and I don't really have the proper setup to use to like tripods or anything like that. But essentially all you need is a serpentine belt to do these, and it's kind of a simple trick. Very easy trick, and I feel like not many people know of this trick, and I kind of want to share it with you guys because somebody in the 2JZ world shared it with me, and I was like, oh, that's a pretty cool trick, and I've used it ever since on a lot of vehicles other than just my Lexus. But again, I do apologize that this is a short video. I just felt like this was something I would like to share with some other people in hopes of, you know, breaking your harmonic balancer bolt loose or torquing it down. Who knows what you're dealing with. Again, super simple trick. But with that being said, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video.